Hi, we are the explorers, and today we are going to talk about the concept of our Explorer 1.0. And I'm Nelson, and he's Johnny, which is the captain.
My name is Angela.
My name is Oscar.
Excessive use of fertilizers and pesticides and leakage from landfill leads to land and soil damage. Trash dumping and disposal of large amount of industrial waste into rivers, lake, and ocean all leads to water damage. This kind of environmental degradation can lead to extreme harm to the whole world, such as illness and extinction of plants and animal species. That's why we create Explorer 1, an amphibious robot which can operate both on land and water surface. Explorer 1's major function is to sample and test water, soil, and gas in order to measure and prevent environmental damage and increasing lifespan of our natural resources. There are 4 factors which make Explorer 1 unique and success in the market. First, services of environmental industry have very high potential. According to the research made by International Trade Center, environmental services account for almost 50% of total market, and the demand of environmental service is still increasing. Thus, the need of service such as Explorer 1 is also maintaining a rising trend. Second, Explorer 1 has great ability of obstacle surmounting, and its small dimensions allow it to enter narrow environment without threatening local animals. Third, Explorer 1 is able to release investigators from dangerous jobs. For example, Conrad Stephan, an Arctic scientist who did research about climate change in Greenland for 30 years, falling into a crevasse in the ice accidentally and drowned in the deep ocean below. Scientists who die because of doing researches happens every year. If they can use Explorer to study human, this kind of tragedy can be avoided. Last but not least, the occupational mobility of Explorer is high, which means the tasks that Explorer can do is not limited only on environmental industry. It can serve a variety of functions by equipping different facilities and attachments. Therefore, the function of Explorer 1 can be customized according to different needs of our consumers.
Mechanical and electronic circuit design. The first picture we can see is the transparent and small cuboid. The advantage is that it is quite light, which can reduce the weight and enable it to move more flexibly. The cuboid contains electrical components that are necessary for the operation. The object also has large volume of water displaced. This can help it float on the ocean and finish the task successfully. The second picture is the motion equipment we use. The circular arc structure improves its weight capacity, which means it can take more equipment at the same time. Compared with the robots moving by feet, our robots can move with a higher velocity, while with those moving by circular wheels, we can better cross obstacles. The last one is our control flowcharts. The one in the middle, STM32F407, is the single-chip microcomputer, and the Hall encoders here can send out signals, and then the single-chip microcomputers can get the feedback from it. So at this time, the PID algorithm can play a role in it.
PID algorithm consists of these 3 terms: proportion, integral, and differential. The independent variable k of this function is the model's current value of angular position, and the dependent variable is a new angular velocity. The function arrow k is defined to represent the difference between the current angular position and the target value. Kp is a constant between the 0 and 1. The role of this term is to reduce the angular velocity of the model as it rotates and approaches the target value. When the difference is eliminated, the value of this term will fall to 0. If overshoot takes place accidentally, the value of arrow k will become negative, and thus the direction of the angular velocity will change to make the angular position meet the target value again. The function of the second term is to accumulate the the value of error k and reduce the steady state error, which are caused by inertia and friction. The role of the third term is to reduce the change of velocity to prevent overshoot. The coefficient of the last two terms are zero in the program of Explorer 1, since, according to experiment, the first term can maximize the accuracy and efficiency solely.
We separate the funding resources partly into three sections, which is venture capital, government supporting, and the private investment. So for the venture capital, what venture capitalists will do is that they will look at our project proposal and we had and make their own evaluation. They see how much our project worth, and they will give us an initial fund, and at the same time involving a fair amount of loss and profit. So for the government supporting part, there are two paths to get help, but we only talk about the first one because the second one is not very usual. So we think our project have the characteristic of energy conservation, and at the same time we can also protect the environment, which is why we worth the funding from government. The last but not least, the private investment, except those usual ways like asking our friends and family members whether they are interested in our project. We'll also issue some leaflet in our community, see whether they are willing to give us a hint. So for the cost part, out of several cost estimation method, we choose the 3-point estimation because it tends to be the easiest one within our bounds of knowledge. So literally we can see that 3-point estimation is the meaning making estimations through three values, which is the optimistic, the pessimistic, and the most possible value. They represent the best situation, the worst situation, and the normal situation respectively. And for those three variables, they also match respectively. So you can see the formula and the bell-shaped curve on the board, and we just need to substitute the value in those variables, and we will get the final total cost. After doing the math, our total cost is around 120,000, and this is only for 1 weekend, 100 Explorer 1.
In conclusion, we expect that Explorer 1 will become successful. Thank you for listening.